my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with part 2 of the Lost Souls Skull Shawl. Say that 5 times fast. Part 2, so that we can do the repeat of this shawl, which is going to be rows 10 through 16, and hopefully that will clarify the repeat for this pattern. We're going to get right into it. Okay. Alrighty, row 10. Okay, so we're going to start by chaining up 3. Turn the work. And into the previous shell, we're going to do another shell. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 1 and 2 double crochets, all right, like so, just as we have been doing. And we're going to be creating the chin of the 2 end skulls, and we're going to be creating the forehead of the skull that we had already started with this row. That being said, we're now going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and into the chain space here, we are going to do 7 double crochets to create the chin. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I do often like to double check my count just to be sure. All right, and then we chain 3 again. And we're going to do a shell into this previous shell. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles, like so. And then we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now we need to skip the first stitch and single crochet into the next 10 stitches and then skip the last stitch. Okay, so we have the first stitch right here, so we're going to skip that and go into the next one. So that's 1, 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and we're going to skip that last one right there. And then we're going to chain 3. And into this shell, we're going to do another shell. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. Okay. And then we're going to chain 3 again. And we're going to create the chin on this skull. So that is going to be another 7 double crochets into this chain space here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Yep. And then chain 3. And then to finish it off, we're going to do a shell into that previous row shell, which is, of course, 2 doubles, 1 chain, and 2 doubles. All right, and that's the end of row 10. Okay. Okay, row 11. We're going to start by doing a chaining of 3. Turn the work. And we're going to do a shell within the previous row shell. Something that you can relatively take for granted at this point. So it's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. Okay, now we're going to be on either end, we're going to be creating the mouth, and over here we're going to be creating the forehead, even still. So continuing on, we're going to chain 3. And into the first double crochet, we're going to do a single crochet into the first, then we're going to chain 7 and single crochet into the last. So single crochet to that first double crochet, chain 7, 6, 7, and then single crochet into the last double crochet. So we have a mouth. Okay. And then chain 3 again, because it's all about symmetry, in either side here. And we're going to do a shell into the previous row shell. So we've got 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. Here we are. Chain 3. Now continuing on with the forehead, we are going to skip the first 2 stitches, then we're going to single crochet in 6 stitches, and then skip the last 2 stitches. So skipping the first 2, we're going to go into the third, right here, with a single crochet. So that's 1. We need to do 5 more for a total of 6. So 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to skip these last 2 single crochet stitches, chain 3, and then we need to do a shell in this shell stitch. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. There we go. And then we need to do the mouth once again. So first we need to chain 3, And then we need to single crochet into the first double crochet stitch, and then chain 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet into the last double crochet stitch. Okay, and then chain 3 again, and a shell within the previous shell. So it's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. All right, and that's the end of row 11. So we have his skull coming along nicely, and then we've got the mouth coming along, so we're getting there. So that's row 11. Row 12. All right, so now we're going to be doing the lips for the outer 2 and the forehead for the center 1. So we're going to start by chaining up 3. Turn the work. Do a shell within the first shell with 2 doubles. Chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay. Chain 3. All right. Now we're going to single crochet into that first single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet over this chain here. We're going to do 7 single crochets over this chaining of 7. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then single crochet into that joining single crochet that we did before. There we are. Chain 3. Do a shell within the shell of the previous row. So it's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. There we go. Okay. And then we chain 3 once again. Okay. And we're going to skip the first stitch, single crochet into the next 4 stitches, and then skip the last stitch. So it's going to have a nice taper as we keep going. All right, so we're going to skip that first one, go into the next, like so, and do 3 more for a total of 4 single crochets. There we are. So skipping that first and last, like so. Okay, chain 3. Do a shell within the shell of the previous row. So that's 2, chain 1, and 2 more doubles. There we are. Chain 3. And then do a single crochet into this joining single crochet. and then 7 single crochets along this chain stitch here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then do a single crochet into this joining single crochet. Then we chain 3 and finish it up by doing a shell within the chain 1 space of this shell. So it's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. There you go. That's the end of row 12. Row 13. Now, row 13 is going to close the motif, the center motif. It's going to close the motif, and it's going to close together, bringing together these shells in preparation for the next motif. Okay, so just something to keep in mind, that it's going to bring this together, okay, as we go along. Also, that we're going to be creating the noses for the 2 outer skulls, and it's going to close up that middle one. All right, so with that being said, we're going to chain up 3, turn the work, okay, and of course we're going to do a shell within that first shell. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay. Oops. And then we're going to chain 3. Okay. And we're going to do a single crochet into the first 3 stitches. It's right here. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay. Then a double crochet stitch into the next stitch. Give it some height. Okay. Chain 1. Then we're going to skip a stitch and do a double crochet into the next stitch. So we're creating a little nosy for our skull. And then I'm going to finish up the side here by doing 3 single crochet stitches, just like we did in the beginning. Okay. And chain 3. Doing a shell into the shell here of the previous row. 2 doubles. Chain 1. 2 doubles. Okay. Alrighty, so as I said before, this is where we need to close together. So we did our shell here for this skull. So now we need to go directly across. We're going to skip over the crown, the top of this skull, and we're going to leap right over, doing a shell into this shell. And you want to make sure that this stitch, this first stitch, is a little bit taut so that it doesn't have a big open gaping loop. And I'll show you what I mean before I go on. because when you're crossing over the space, it's very easy to have a very loose stitch. You know, if it's too loose, it'll look kind of messy. And once you do it, you can't undo it once you're up a couple rows. So it's good to have it nice and snug. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. All right. So that's how it closes up over the top of the previous skull. Okay. Then we're going to have to continue on with this one. That being said, it's a matter of chaining 3. And we're going to, again, do a single crochet into the first 3 single crochet stitches. That's 2 and 3. Then a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet into the next, okay, and then 3 single crochet stitches. All right, and then we're going to finish up this row by chaining 3 and doing a shell within the shell. So 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles. Okay, that's the end of row 13. Getting some cohesion here. All right. All right, row 14. Okay, so now we're going to be doing the eyes and the bridge. Okay, so now it is going to start with a chaining up of 3. Turn the work. Shell within the previous row shell. So 2 doubles, chain 1 and 2 doubles. Okay. Chain 3. All right, now into the first stitch of this skull. Into the first stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. Like so. Okay. So in the first one, it's a half double. Then chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then single crochet into the chain 1 space of the nose, chain 7 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then a half double crochet into the last stitch of this side of the skull. It's a little bit tricky because we're working off of a chain. Actually, I'm going to undo that and redo that to show you what I mean. So it's good to hold your loops down, which is what I was not doing. Okay, see? Makes it a little bit easier. And then the last one. See? A little bit easier that way. Okay. So now we have the eyes of this skull. All right. And then we chain 3. And we need to do a shell within this shell, of course. So it's 2 doubles. Chain 1 and 2 doubles. Okay. And now we need to get to this shell over here, so we're going to chain 2 and then do shell into this shell. Yeah, we're creating a bit of a bridge here. See? So it's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles, like so. So chain 3. Now we need to do the eyes on this skull. So that is going to be a half double crochet. Again, it helps to hold your yarn when doing this in particular. So we're going to do a half double on this side, and then chain 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, single crochet into the chain 1 space of the nose, chain 7 again, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, another half double on the last stitch for the skull. There we are. And then we finish up this side with a chain 3 and a shell within the shell. Two doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. Okay, and that's the end of row 14. All right. All right, so now we have row 15. Now there are 2 significant things about row 15. The first one is that it is an increase row. So in the first and last of the shells for this row, we need to do a double shell. So that's the increase aspect. The second part of row 15 that you need to keep in mind is that, yes, this is what we're doing right now as far as the repeat for the pattern, rows 10 through 16. Now, however, when you have enough repeats done so that your shawl is its desired size, and you've done enough of your repeats, when you reach the desired size and you've done enough repeats, when you reach row 15, stop. Because when you want to do the top edging for your shawl, there is a variation to row 15. So it's going to be row 15A and 16A, etc., etc., etc. So do enough of your repeats right now as I'm showing you, and then when it's big enough and you reach row 15, don't do row 15, stop. Finish row 14, then stop, and then I will show you how to do the top edging with 15A, 16A, etc., etc. Okay? So just throwing it out there so that you can keep that in mind, so that you don't do more work than you have to. So for regular row 15, for the sake of the repeat, start by chaining up of 3, turn your work, and we're going to do a double shell into this first shell here. So that is 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, So that's one shell, chain 2. Now to do the double aspect of the shell, so that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. Come on. Can get a little crowded with so many stitches in the one chain 1 space, but you guys can do it. So we have our double, okay. Now we're going to mosey along by chaining 3. And so we have the top of the skull here. So we're going to be creating the brow. And so that is a single crochet into this half double here. And then going across the eye socket here, we're going to do 7 single crochets over the chain of 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then we're going to skip the single crochet that we did over the nose, and then we're going to single crochet 7 single crochet stitches over this eye socket chain 7 space. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then, last but not least, a single crochet into the half double crochet that we have right here. It's a little bit tricky. There we are. Ta-da! Okay. Then chain 3. Okay. And do a shell within this shell here of the previous row. So of course that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. Okay. And now we're going to chain 2 again, creating the bridge. And we're going to do a shell into the next shell. So that is 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, chain 3, and then we have to do the brows on this side. So that's going to be into the half double on this side, do a single crochet, then single crochet over the chain of 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip this single crochet, go into the next chain 7 space with 7 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then into this half double crochet, we're going to do another single crochet stitch. Oops. go. Then we chain 3. And then to finish up this row, row 15, we need to do a double shell into this shell. So that is, of course, 2 doubles. Chain 1, 2 doubles. Chain 2, because we finished our first shell. Now to do the second. So it's 1, 2, chain 1, 2 more doubles. And there you go. All right, so that is the end of row 15. Okay. Row 16. Okay. So for row 16, we're going to continue right along by doing a chaining up of 3. Turn the work. Okay. So into the first shell here, okay, do a shell. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1 and 2 doubles. Now just keep in mind that you're going into the first shell of the double shell. Just keep that in mind. Okay, then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, skip over this chain 2 space, and then going into the second shell of the double shell, crochet another shell. Okay, so into that space, not the chain 2 space, the chain 1 space. Do another shell, so that is, of course, 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. All right, so now we have the base for our next skull on this end. All right. Chain 3. Okay. All right, so now we're going to skip the first stitch, and we are going to single crochet over the next 6 stitches. So skipping this one, going into the next one. So that's 6 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to skip the next 2 stitches and single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So skipping 1 and 2, going into the next, we're going to do 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, skipping over this last single crochet stitch. Okay. Then we chain 3 again, and we've reached another shell, so we're going to do a shell within the shell. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, and now we're going to chain 7 again because we need to have a skull over this bottom skull. Okay. So, chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And into this shell, we're going to do another shell. So that's 2 double crochets, chain 1, and 2 double crochets. Okay. So you see we have one here. This one is going to get closed up, and we're going to have another skull right here. So after we did our shell, chain 7, shell, we're going to chain 3. Okay. And then for this skull, excuse me, we are going to skip the first stitch once again, okay, and then in the next 6 single crochet stitches, we're going to do 6 stitches, so that's 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we skip the next 2 single crochet stitches, and then we're going to do another 6. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, skipping that last one. Then we chain 3 once again. Now we've reached our double shell, so into the first shell, do another shell. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, 2 doubles, okay, now we're chaining 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, okay, and then we're skipping over this chain 2 space, going into the chain 1 space with a shell. So that's 2 doubles, chain 1, and 2 doubles. And there you go. And that is the end of row 16. So as you can see, right here, let me move my camera. As you can see, we started off by doing our initial skull, then we created 2 more, and now we're going to be creating 3 more, right here, here, and here. And that being said, that's pretty much how the pattern is going to continue for as long as you wish to do your repeats. Okay. And that, I think, pretty much covers it for this video. So, as always, I really hope that you found this helpful, that you liked it. If you have any questions, comments, etc., please do so in the comments section down below. If you liked the video, please hit the like button because your support means ever so much to me, and I do so appreciate it. And if you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do so because I try to post videos as often as I can, and that way you can stay informed. So listen, until the next video, I want you guys to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, and above all, stay stitching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.